Hey guys, how's it going? Jason here. I want to talk about time travel. How does time travel work? Is it possible to time travel? And if it is, how is it possible? Let's see. Let me show you. Alright, so you've got your original timeline. Okay? This is you right now. This is now. Okay? Here, let me just write that. Now. Alright? Now, all these features, these are all different futures that you can choose to go to, make choices. Alright? This is what your actual choices are going to be. Okay? Now, let's say you want to time travel into the past. Okay? So, if you look over down to timeline number 2, right here, this is timeline number 2, okay? Say you do travel into the past, okay? Now, it's possible to go into the past, alright? You change something, or you just observe, it doesn't matter. Just being there changed the future, okay? Now, what you can do is, the only thing that you would have to do to make sure you don't change the future is you would have to be completely invisible. Kind of like being in another dimension and observing another dimension. It's like being in the 5th dimension observing the 3rd dimension. Okay? But let's say we don't have that technology. We just have time travel. Okay? You go back into the past. You can make a change into the past, observe it, whatever. Now, you have two choices. Actually, you have an infinite number of choices, but if you're talking about what you're working on and where you came from, you got 2 choices. You can either go go back to where you were at that present moment. You can go back to where you were in that present moment and see what changes have occurred since you went and visited. Okay? Now that's a reality. Or you can go back to the original timeline you came from, the very moment that you left. It'd be like you never left. Except your future does change because you did go back, experience something, because you are still living on your original timeline. Okay, it doesn't matter what timeline you go visit on Earth's timeline. Okay, it's not the same as your timeline. Your timeline is your personal original timeline. Okay, so you could travel in the past, future, whatever. Your time is still passing. Your internal clock is still ticking. It doesn't stop and reverse. It's not like you can go back in the time and then say you go back, say you're 15 years old and you go back in time 5 years, that you'll be 10 years old when you go there. No. You'll probably see yourself, your other self, 10 years old, but you're still going to be 15. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Now, you can go back to the original timeline where nothing was changed and everything was still the same. Okay? Or you can go visit the one where it was changed. It works a little bit different whenever you're talking about traveling into the future. Okay? Since you're living in the now, all your past experiences are remained permanent. Your own personal experiences what you're experiencing now remains permanent in your mind, okay? Your future, okay, the further you look into the future, the foggier it's going to get. The foggier it's going to get. You're going to see, like, say you look 5 seconds ahead, you're going to see 3 different possible timelines, 3 different choices you could make in the next 5 seconds, alright? And if you look 10 seconds in the future, you'll see 6 different timelines. It goes up and up and up and up. The further into the future you look, the more possible choices that could be made up to that point, okay? So I can go over here, make a choice, make that choice, and then make another choice, and end up over here. So, or I can keep going with the choices I was going to make, and then go up and make a different choice, and then go back and make a different choice over here. Okay? So, time travel in the future is a little bit different. Because for one, if you travel to the future, you've just left. Okay? You just left where you were at. Okay? When you travel in the future, you have a choice to either time travel in the future where you left off, where you just disappeared and everything just set course from there, or you can go to the future where you never left and you could see yourself in the future, what you would be doing right then if you hadn't time traveled at that time. It's a little confusing when we're talking about time traveling in the future, because the future can't really be determined yet, you know? It's all done by cycles and patterns, what we've recorded, okay? Sure, you can take cycles and things that have happened, alright? Say there's a hurricane every year, okay? Sure, you can predict another hurricane next year, okay? But you're not gonna pinpoint the exact time, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there might not even be a hurricane next year. Next year, it'd probably be just a bunch of tornadoes. You don't know. But you do know, but because of the cycles that are being made, you can determine what will possibly happen next cycle because of the previous cycles. Alright? I'll talk about cycles later on, but right now we're talking about time travel and timelines. Alright? Now, I hope this helps you understand that time travel is possible, because yeah, you can go back in time and change something, but you have a choice whether to go to the affected timeline where you made the changes, or you could go back to your original time where you had just left and it never changed. So that's like your home, okay? Now, here's a little map of what I'm talking about. This would be like looking at all the timelines. Okay? This would be like a picture of all the timelines. This is your original timeline. Let's say that your future has been preordained, or destiny, okay? And then your past is your past, okay? Alright, say you lived and you died, alright? This is the now. Now, what you have here, the original, and then you have alternate pasts, all the things that could have happened, alright? And all the things that can happen in the future, okay? These are all the choices that you can make to get to where you want to be, alright? Everybody has a choice to get to wherever they want to go, okay? There's no limit. I mean, you have the power to do whatever you want to do. You can go anywhere you want, as long as you want it. Okay. Now, These are all the I could have done this, should have done that, would have done this. Alright? Now, when you time travel, when you input the data into a time machine, so you have a time machine, you got your computer inside, alright? Typically, the instructions that you would put in would be, well, sure, Back to the Future, you know, Emmett Brown, he would type in the date, the time, the date and the time, and then he would go there into the past, okay? Talking about the past. Now, you would have to upload your consciousness into the machine so that the machine would know what your original past would be. So you wouldn't have to input the data of what other alternate past you would go visit. The machine doesn't know anything but what has already happened, which is everything. Everything has happened. Any combination, all the combinations, everything has happened. Okay, that's just the truth. Y'all are gonna have to just accept it, because that's the only reason why we're alive right now, is because everything has happened. Now, you make your choices, blah blah blah. Here we're talking about traveling into the past, putting information into the computer to tell it that you want to go and visit your past. Alright? You can visit other people's pasts too, but typically, in your personal experience, everything that's happening on Earth right now is your personal experience. Everybody has a personal experience on Earth, but you gotta understand that everybody on Earth is just a different aspect of yourself. Okay? We're all the same. We are all the same person. Okay? It's just that all these other people around you and in other countries are just different you. They're different parts of you. Alright? And it's funny to me that you guys are still fighting over each other when you're just fighting yourself. It's really all you're doing. You're just fighting yourselves. It's just kind of immature. That's like me punching myself in the face. I mean, how stupid is that? You know what I'm saying? But, y'all are gonna just have to learn on your own, because I'm obviously not gonna be able to convince the entire world to shut the fuck up and get along, because you're just touching yourself. You're talking to yourself, you're beating yourself up, you're helping yourself too. I would rather help myself out than to fucking beat the shit out of myself. Alright. Or kill myself, for that matter. So, you can choose whatever past you want to go visit. You can choose your original one. When you input the data into the time machine, it depends on how the data is put in. Now, all the details, I'm pretty sure that some kind of future race has already created all of those parameters for us. But I can't really explain it to you right now, because I don't think I'm allowed to. Because I'm trying to explain it and my mind keeps blanking out. So I'm just going to leave it at that. It's possible to travel to other timelines in the past. It's possible to travel to any future, because the future hasn't happened yet. Doesn't matter what part of the future you go travel to. Hell, you can travel to the future, okay? You can travel to the future where you disappeared in the past, of when you just left to go visit the future, and then appear in the future the same age, okay? You're still the same age. And all your friends will be like, say you're 25, your friends are 25. You travel 25 years in the future, you're still going to be 25 years old, except all your friends are going to be 50. That's the cool part. I mean, yeah, time travel is cool and all. You don't want to travel too far in the future because the absolute future is that everything ends. So you don't want to hit that barrier. That barrier is very dangerous. You could probably, if you hit that barrier, you probably would bounce all the way back to the Stone Age. So, I mean, it's possible. You would hit the void, and then everything in your being would be just vaporized back into creation, and then you would probably be reincarnated. But we aren't talking about any of that. We're talking about timelines, time travel. Okay, it's all possible. All right. What I need you guys to understand is that all the past that could have happened exist. All right. All the timelines exist right now. Right now, there's somebody in the 50s beatboxing or whatever in the street right now. Okay. The house that you're living in right now is also probably some Indian tribe right now is campfiring in your backyard, dancing around, doing a ritual right now. It's just happening at a different timeline. I know, it's pretty freaking wicked if you think about it. All these timelines are occurring all around you. All around you. All these histories, all the past stuff, all the future stuff, it's all happening right now, all around you. It's just, thank God that we have the technology to experience each one of our timelines without being so crowded within the other timelines, because I guess that's why people are talking about dimensions. Alright, now a dimension is just another time and space configuration, which only means that all the other dimensions are just past lives, past timelines, and all the other dimensions up above us are all the possible futures. And they're just passing right through us. There really is no number of dimensions because it's infinite. I don't know why people are trying to label like the third dimension, fourth dimension, and all that. Now, when scientists talk about dimensions, they're talking about spatial dimensions. Now, and they got the definition wrong of dimensions. A dimension is a time and space configuration. That's all it is. It's not just a spatial dimension. You don't got two-dimensional paper and three-dimensional objects, okay? That's not what we're talking about, okay? They got it all wrong. That's totally wrong. They gave the meaning to the wrong word, which is kind of pisses me off because they're teaching this stuff in schools. And the governments are the ones that control the schools, so they're hiding something. The government knows a lot of shit that we don't. And they're using fear to keep people away from the truth. They're also straight up lying to people, telling them to go to school to read books about stuff that they're even more lying about. It makes me wonder. Sometimes I wonder if anything that's happened before I was born even actually happened or not, because I've been lied to so much. I've been corrupted so much. I don't even know if my history, if the past is even true or not. You know what I mean? But anyways, namaste, in Lak'ech. I'll talk to you guys later. My throat is a little sore. Can't really talk much. I think I was yelling or something in my dream last night. But it's cool. Namaste and Lak'ech. I'll see you guys in my next video. And remember now, don't be mean. Play nice.